Bolts What's on here, guys. When you guys are recommending repairs, do you look up the procedure before you start? For instance, a BMW. You got an inline six engine, needs a starter. Recommend a starter, then you go to do the job and you find out step one is remove intake manifold. So you need intake gaskets. Well, then you look a little bit further and you find out that the bolts aren't reusable on the starter. So now you got to buy bolts. Well, in some cases, you've got to drain the coolant. You've got to do an oil change. Maybe the thermostat housing's got to come off. There's all kinds of scenarios that can play out. And when it all comes down to it, the shop loses money if you don't look it up. Because once you've started that job, you sold that starter with the labor and the starter, now you need intake gaskets, you need starter bolts, or you need a thermostat housing, a thermostat gasket, you need coolant, you need an oil change. So the shop loses money when you don't look up repairs. Plus, you get in there, you pull the intake off, and you get the starter out. Now you have to wait for parts because you can't put the starter in without the new bolts, and you got to put the intake back on, and you need intake gaskets. So are you guys looking up the procedures before you start the job? Let me know down below.